My name is Puneh Ganji. I am 25 years old and I'm a classical music and film music composer from Zurich, Switzerland.
We met way back in the day. We met,
Yes.
well, when was that? 2013, 14?
Oh, that was a while ago. I think 5 years, just when I arrived to Dallas, right?
Yeah.
You just arrived then too.
Yep, absolutely. Was that right when you got there? You hadn't been there?
I'm not even sure if that was the first day or first week when I just met you. You were just there at the airport and needed a ride.
Yeah, that was it. I didn't even ask for a ride. I was just trying to find a taxi.
Oh, true. I was asking you just, if you wanted to come. Yes, join the ride.
Which
exactly.
Back then, Uber was a new concept, so it wasn't like, let's just Uber,
Hey, I mean, why not? I'm glad you did.
When we bonded, we played piano at SMU. That was pretty cool. I mean, you were way better than me. They had like a little classical piano in there. So is that your main instrument, piano?
Well, since I'm composing, I pretty much have everything in my head. But if you mean instrument-wise, yes.
You said just as far as composing, so you do lots of things then.
It's all in my head. So, but the piano is for me the most simple thing to, just think about the melodies and just play with it while I'm writing the notes down.
I couldn't do two different things with each hand, and that's why I gave up.
Oh, it's good brain training, actually, playing piano. I think it's such a great training.
That's a complex part of it. That's like, you're not just doing one instrument, you're doing everything. You're doing all the layers, all the parts you don't even hear. Most people aren't Mozart and they just pop out knowing this stuff.
It's weird to say that, but I always knew that I'm going to compose and that I'm going to share my music with the world. I knew that from, how old was I? Maybe 5, 6, 7 years old. It's crazy. I mean, I had no idea what jobs were available, of course, or anything. It was just always in my head. I have no idea why I think about composing, I could have said I want to be a singer, but no, I just knew I'm going to compose and write pieces and I'm going to present them to the world.
I love that that's the way you said it, that you're like, I didn't know what jobs were out there when I was looking.
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to be a composer, but I kept it for myself. And until I decided 1.5 years ago to start composing, to do it for real,
Is the reason you kept it to yourself, is it more like just like an internal reason, or is it just kind of like you just realized it? Was there like something holding you back from like...
I feel something had to happen, I just got out of a relationship and it was not too long. It was like a 1-year relationship or something. And when it ended, it kind of hit me because I realized wow, like 1 year is gone from your life, kind of like you're at the fresh start again. And you were so dedicated to the relationship or something. And what did you do for yourself? Like, did you really get to do the things you really wanted? And I was like, no, I didn't. And I just had enough of everything. I think that was the point for me, the turning point, to be like, no, Puneh, now's the time not to do just something you like, because I always did something I liked, but no, do something for real that, what's your inner voice telling you to do. And this is how it started. I just started to share my music on social media. That's how it started. I didn't say like, oh, I'm a composer from today. I was just like, I'm just going to write my music, what I love doing anyways, and I'm going to share it on social media. Fuck what everybody says, I'm just going to share it and I don't care. Excuse my language.
No, I love it. That was perfect. I feel like it's because you had your artist moment. All right, I feel like every real true artist has that moment that you were having, I think, where you have that reflection where you're like, what have I really done for myself? Or a version of that where it's like, how much have I really committed to what I really like doing? How much, etc., where some kind of reform needs to happen, like in your head, when you're just like, this is what I need to do, because this is what I'm here for. I think every artist has that. Because how do you go to everyone and say, "Hey, I want to be a writer. I want to make a living on writing things that aren't real. I make up shit." And,
yes, I saw you do that. That's very unique.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to get to that point. I mean, I hope that nobody's suffering or anything, but I feel sometimes, you know, even the suffering has a positive turn for your life. I mean, if you see it in this way, I'm happy that I went through this, and maybe I'm even happy that you went through this, because now we can finally say now at a young age that we had enough and now it's time for us.
Freaking Italy, what are you doing there? You wanna...
I don't know, it was so spontaneous actually. I just booked my travel on Sunday evening together with my friend. We thought, okay, during Corona, nobody's there, you know, no tourists, everything's going to be empty. Perfect. So it's probably never going to be this beautiful. So we just spontaneously booked and I just arrived. Yay.
And so everything there is like safe now. Everything's like open and it's safe.
Yes, I mean, some stores are closed, of course, and for anyone who plans to go to Italy, their mask game, they really take it seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they really do. You have to have it on almost all the time.
Yeah, it seems to be a theme with 2020. Who'd have thunk this year would turn out this way, right?
Oh God, if you would have told me what the situation would be 6 months ago, where everyone would be wearing masks, all stores all around the world would be closed, and
I wouldn't believe it.
You know, just everyone would be isolated. I would be like, hell no.
But a lot of people, like Laura last week, talked to me about how that time, it was a time of really hardship for most people, but there were some people who were blessed, where it gave them an opportunity through the hardship to not only work on their art, but it gave them, like you said, like you were saying, suffering content to create with. Things got hard and we got time to work on our art.
Yes, it was a very interesting time actually, because I just moved back to Dallas from Zurich, and then I had maybe 2 months to go out, and then this Corona thing happened and I had to go back in. But the thing is, you know, since my audience had grown and I just arrived to Dallas, everyone texted me, which is very beautiful, and they wanted to hang out and they wanted to see me and they wanted to know things of me and they wanted my help or my audio or whatever it is. Suddenly nobody texted me anymore to hang out, you know, even though I'm always happy to hang out with people. I don't understand me wrong. But the thing is, I really needed it. And even usually I compose every single day, right? As soon as I got to America, because of the hectic and everything, I didn't get to compose every single day. And even during Corona, first with the reflection, I didn't do anything until I had time for myself for an entire month. And finally, I mean, it was like a click moment, and suddenly I had 3 complete pieces, which I'm very excited to publish very soon. And they were just automatically done. I didn't have to sit on the piano every single day, write a little here, write a little there, do a break, you know, creativity break, as, you know, creativity has no agenda, right?
Right, exactly.
It just flew, and I did, within 1 week, I completed 2 pieces, and the third one just happened in between. I was more productive the entire year, you know, in those weeks. And yeah, so for this, it was great.
First of all, there's a few things I want to ask you. We'll get to it one at a time. One of them is the classical music, because that's something that a lot of people begin on to learn the fundamentals, and then they shift away from it. Did you have like a parent or a sibling that just played music, or what?
I mean, I heard music. I had music around since, I mean, I think I was even in the belly of my mom. I don't know, but I always could feel beats or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's why I like bass, but my father is a musician, and both of my parents are Persian, and they moved a long time ago here to Switzerland. And since I'm little, I've always had the piano, music, the band. My father is a musician of his band called Rose, and he does Oriental pop. Yeah, so he's giving concerts, and I grew up with it. I really grew up with it, and I loved it. I loved music around, and maybe that's where my inspiration comes from him. We play music together, or when I get to play the piano or any instrument, honestly, he's just every time happy. That's the way we connect. Amazing.
It goes a long way. It goes a long way just to have some people.
It does.
You know, that just every now and then let you know you're doing okay. You know. So you are you coming back to the States? Are you chilling over in Europe, or is that a long-term thing, or what?
Yes. So I live 1/3 of the year I live in Switzerland, and then 2/3 of the year I live in America, and that's mainly for school.
Do you ever get nervous posting your stuff or anything, or sharing anything?
No, I don't think so, because you know, you shouldn't be so strict on yourself. Just have fun, share it, because you know, everybody has a different style. Like, for example, Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can say that she's not a great musician.
Of course.
I mean, she is good. Like, we're not going to discuss about it, right?
No, you don't have an argument for me.
But the thing is, I don't personally have a single title of Beyonce on my playlist. Why? Because her style is not my style. But every single person, I mean, millions of people listen to her music. The thing is, you have to find the style you like, and the thing is, everybody has their own style. This is why I'm not really nervous, you know, when I post something, because I know this is my thing. If people like it, perfect. And I can only get better, you know, so I'm just doing it for fun mainly.
Because that's one of the most surprising things that fellow writers say to me. It's like, man, how do you post your stuff where people can see it like that? And just like, how do you just put yourself out there like that? And people like me don't stop to think like, oh, I give a shit what people think. I don't stop to think that, but there are a lot of people that do. And it just makes sense to just realize that, you know, there are going to be haters, but you got to do it because you're right. It's you. It's what you like to do. It makes you happy.
Yeah, whatever. The haters, I mean, it's just not their style. And if they're too critical, maybe that's because they're too critical about their lives, or if they don't like your music, that's fine.
So what?
I mean, let's be honest. If you think your music is shit, then maybe don't post it. But
right,
if you really
go with your gut on that.
If you believe in your music, which you should as a musician, then share it. Like, what are you waiting for, right? I think it's so important to know yourself, and I'm very happy that I do, because I feel most people are still figuring themselves out, and I'm just happy I can start from there already. I
love that you said that, because I think that's super important. I was going to ask a version of what I just asked when you were just talking about a couple minutes ago. I was going to ask what advice you'd have to someone who's struggling with getting started or deciding. And that was it right there.
Even as a musician, I mean, first of all, why do you want to be a musician? You first have to know yourself. Like, you don't know if it's coming from other places or anything, or if it's matching with your lifestyle. Like, figure out your lifestyle and see if the activity you want to do in the future, if it matches what you like and what you don't like, you know?
I can dig it.
I mean, it shouldn't match what you don't like, but...
but you should know.
Yeah.
What are you listening to right now?
I listen to everything, but mainly I listen to I mainly listen to house, deep house, tech, probably coming from Switzerland.
I would not have guessed that about you.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I know, because I do classical music, right? It's just...
Is there a reason that you decided to do classical music instead of doing like other types of music as far as composing?
I love composing classical music. I think that's my thing. I don't know why, really. Maybe it's a mix of where I grew up. It just gives me time to reflect with myself, you know. It's every time a little different, you know. There are moments where I have everything in my head, where it's 2 a.m. and I'm right before I fall asleep and I'm super tired, and suddenly I have a whole orchestra playing in my head, and I'm like, oh God, if I don't write everything right now down, then I'm going to forget it. And then I get up at 2 a.m. and write it all down. Or I just sit on the piano and play something until I find a melody that I like, and then I go deeper into it. I think creativity shouldn't be just one approach, listen to your intuition.
So you don't have a set songwriting process or anything as far as when you go to create?
Not really. The first year, I composed for every single day. I told myself to just compose one line, just to tell myself that I composed one line, which would be 7 lines a week. So that would be 1 page that I wrote down, which is 1 minute of playtime. So that's like the minimum I would do. But now, honestly, especially like I learned after the coronavirus, as you asked earlier, I learned just to listen to yourself, reflect. Not everything has to be a system. And again, creativity has no agenda. So suddenly, you can just have an entire piece in one day, in one piece, in 1 hour done, while sometimes you need just weeks.
I love that music is a thing that you can do individually or with a group of people. Like, I can sit at home and I can play my guitar and I can just jam out, and that'll be like therapeutic to me. But then I can get together with a group of guys and just jam.
So much.
I love it.
Before I went to bed last night, I went to meet up with my friend just to do some music piece, some beats actually for hip hop, but anything music. It's just so much fun. It gives me so much joy. Whether it is in a group, whether it is alone.
Where do you draw the line in the sand? A producer called you up and said, hey, the deal is yours if you sign on the dotted line in this.
That's a good question. Well, something I would not do.
Because it goes along with knowing yourself and what you'll do, because that's a huge thing too nowadays.
Very much, but interestingly, in music, I would do anything, even rock music or something. I would just be open to it, because everything is so interesting to me. If it's about music, there are no rules.
I have that feeling about knowledge. I just love to know all the things, if I can. It's not possible to know all the things, not at all. Because if it were, I would know how to play piano.
You know a little bit. I remember you played back then a little bit. You showed one song. You did it well.
Yeah, I was learning the chords back then. I played a lot with my church and all that stuff. I didn't need to know a lot. I needed to know like 6 chords. Now, I don't even think I needed to know that many for church music. So I think it was like 4 chords. I mean, music is storytelling. Have you ever heard... There's a guy I've been obsessed with lately. My latest obsession in music has been a guy named Tyler Childers. And I don't even know he's new. He might, But he's awesome. I don't know how you feel about country music, but he's like this beautiful blend of old country sound with modern, I guess, feel. I don't even know. But Tyler Childers, he's fantastic. You should look him up. He's in my obsession lately. So,
who knows? Maybe I've heard something from him. I'm not sure. But since I'm in Texas, they play country music, and I do enjoy it very much when I get to have a walk and someone in the neighborhood plays country music. I think it's so Texan, but it's so beautiful.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food? I think I love mangoes.
Mangoes, okay. That did not go where I thought it would. It's not even a meal, that's an ingredient. You said, fuck a whole meal, I want the mangoes.
I am, of course, I'm from Iran, so of course I love Persian food. Oh my god, their kebabs are amazing. I love Italian food, I love Asian food. Like, my mom cooks very internationally great. So if you ask me about favorite things, every time I think about food, it's mangoes.
Mangoes, yes.
Yeah. Currently, it's 11:17, and my friend has not seen Venice yet. Me either, as we just got here.
Yeah, so y'all just... How long have you been traveling?
Venice. I mean, I just thought about it 2 days ago. Sorry for saying that. But I was like, okay, wait. I did this song called Alone in Venice, and I'm just noticing now that I'm going to Venice. It's not alone, but I'm going. Almost alone since the coronavirus.
Yeah, I was about to say, how did it feel alone,
Such
though?
a funny coincidence.
That's so. Is that why the song just had nothing to do with your trip? It just was a coincidence.
Kind of a coincidence, yes. I mean, maybe somehow it drew me there, but I knew I'm going to go there sooner or later. But now the time is perfect. How my song originated from, related to Venice, is just first it started with a painting that I had hanging from Venice, and now I hope I get to see it in a different light, and maybe I even think about my own title differently. Who knows about my music?
Have you been there before? This is your first visit?
It's my first visit, yes.
That's awesome. I've never been out of the country.
Oh God, Joey.
Yeah, I mean,
you need to get out.
I mean, I would love to. I mean, I guess I've been to the Bahamas.
Inspiration.
I know, yeah. I've been to the Bahamas. There are places I want to go. So, your music, is it available anywhere, or how are you releasing it and or making it?
Yeah, so it is currently on Spotify. I think you can even find it on YouTube.
Well, this is your plug, girl. What's the channel called?
When you just type my name in, Puneh Ganji, Puneh for the first name, last name Ganji. So just simply my full name. You will find my pieces there. Let's see how this corona is going to develop, so I can soon go to the studio and record my new pieces. So within the next months, it should be out soon too, depending on the prices, right?
Yeah, no kidding though. And we'll keep everybody posted on that stuff. So is it like a whole band? Is it just you?
It's just me as a composer, yes. I mean, here and then, for example, last year I did a score for a Swiss movie called Icarus. It's going to be out this year, depending again on the coronavirus, when we're going to have the, do you call it premiere? I'm not sure the English word. You get your music out there?
Yes, premiere. Yes, we would premiere.
Yes, premiere, exactly. So the premiere is going to be in August or later, depending on the corona. But last year, I worked together with another producer, and I always need help for the technical stuff. So Tristan Fontenide from YBM Music. With them, I love working. They're great, they're reliable, and yeah, otherwise, you find people to work with here and then if I need other instruments, but we'll see in future.
Well,
For now, it's just me and the piano, right?
Have you been to Nashville?
To Nashville? No, I have not been.
Oh, it's a Music City. You gotta come see it, girl.
I hear that, yes.
And here,
so I'm planning to.
Here, a lot of people say that the name of the game is networking. So I think that's awesome that you have that set up, because most people here couldn't do it, which is awesome. You're just killing it, girl. You're like a one-man show. Or one woman show.
I mean, it sounds big and beautiful, but I just started 1 year. No stress, but it's going to be a long-term game. I just know I'm going to do that, and that's all I need to know, and I'm just going.
Does your name mean anything?
So my first name means royal mint, but it has a deeper meaning how I got my name, actually. When my mom was pregnant with me, she didn't know if I was going to be a boy or a girl. If I was a girl, they had no idea what to call me, but the day I was born, my parents told me we were all in bed. My mom was hugging me, and my dad was also there. And my dad started singing this Persian song called Gole Puneh, means the flower of Pune. So my name also started out from a melody for music.
That's like destiny right there. Like I got
totally
chill bumps.
From the beginning.
I got chill bumps and everything over here. How many languages do you know? What's your favorite one?
Ooh. Well, the most beautiful sounding to me is French.
Okay.
And my best language I can speak is, of course, Swiss German.
I can't speak any other ones. I've started sign language, about 100 words and then some phrases. But other than that,
Hey, if you already know 100 words of some language, then I'm sure a conversation is going to be easy. So as long as you apply.
It's helped me out. I mean, when I was a server, that's the reason I started learning, because there's like these deaf people, a group of deaf people that came in several times a week, and it just felt weird serving them without talking. It was like a quiet room. It was weird, and so I started learning basic words like ordering, like how they order and stuff like that, and they like super responded to that, and they were totally cool with it. And so I started to learn more, and then I quit serving, and it didn't stick. And honestly, I'm still working on English. I write books for a living, and I'm still working on English. So,
I mean, if you're an author, I think your English is going to be pretty well.
I still use words like ain't.
I still need to read your book to see what you did. You know.
You do, in fact.
It's called Iris, right?
It is.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm enjoying this so much, so I can imagine having another conversation with Joey.
Producer Joey, that's right. And except sometimes I'm going to have, there's also several other hosts of the show. I do the whole logistics end of it, but the creative end of it is these guys named Gio and Gavin and Jackson. And they're the ones that are on the podcast on the YouTube. They're super creative, super musicians. Y'all would vibe like you have no idea. But sometimes we're going to...
I love that.
Yeah, sometimes we're going to have good podcast segments where all four of us are going to be in the room, you know, kind of talking to whoever we're interviewing. So that'll be a lot of fun too. And then also maybe coronavirus and pandemic stuff will be over, so maybe we can be in the same room for those conversations.
that would be fun too. I mean, to vibe with you guys, I think that would be cool.
So yeah, but we got to get you
especially
to the
with
stage.
The music and all.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any shout outs that you wanted to make to someone or someplace?
Well, I'm not good with giving shout outs, honestly. I don't know. It's such a regular thing to do, but thank you to all my friends. Thank you to everyone on social media who has supported me and who has encouraged me to continue to share and be motivated to share my music. So thank you so much.
That stuff's important, guys. That encouragement. Even if it's just a
Very
like.
much. I mean, only if you
or a
like
share,
it. Please,
yeah.
like, don't say it's good when it's not good.
I tried to sell my book to my doctor a couple weeks ago, and she goes, if I had the time to read a book, I would definitely buy it. And I'm like, honestly, I don't care if you read it. Just buy it. This is a small business here.
Really, I mean, who listens to classical music, There are people who like this, and like, if you rather listen to hip hop, then do it. I really do not care.
I do not care. I enjoy talking to you a lot because for a few things. First of all, when you talk about it, you're just so into what you're saying, and I love that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and second, there's just when you say that, you were talking for like 2 minutes, and there's so much to unpack there. There's so much you said that I wanted to talk about. I don't want to keep you from Italy any longer, or sleep, whichever you most prefer.
Yes, thank you so much for having me in the interview. I really enjoyed it, and now I'm about to have a walk and listen to my music alone in Venice while I'm taking a walk in Venice
with pizza.
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
And
I had some pizza right before the interview, so that's already checked. Thank you so much for this. This was really cool.